Hi, my friends. I am going to read another book today. So today's other book is A Bug's Life. Look at Flint. Does he look fabulous? Each season, the ants of Ant Island gather off food offerings for the evil grasshopper gang. But one day, clumsy Flik loses an entire supply. It's up to Flik and his inventions and a motley band of circus bugs to save the day. Can they do it before the grasshoppers destroy everything the ants love? Let's find out. All right. Ooh, fun. Look how nice. It's such a nice day outside. I always love when the books reflect the outside. I sat outside earlier for a little bit. And our cover page, title page, A Bug's Life. This one's Disney Pixar, A Bug's Life. And then down here, it's done by Disney Press. They own the books, the copyright, the story, the pictures. Let's get started. One day on Ant Island, the alarm sounded. The frightened ants scattered. The queen took charge and urged everyone into the anthill. But an ant named Flik was too slow. "Hey, wait for me!" he called in his haste. He accidentally tossed all the ant colony's grain off a cliff. The grain was an offering to the grasshopper gang, which took the offering in return for not harming the ants. But now the offering was gone. Then the grasshopper gang arrived. "Where's my food?" their leader Hopper demanded, grabbing the queen's youngest daughter Dot. "If you don't keep your end of the bargain, someone could get hurt." Flik didn't think twice. "Leave her alone," he demanded. Hopper dropped Dot. I want double the order of grain when the last leaf falls," he snarled. Once Hopper left, Princess Ada, the queen's older daughter, and the council were ready to banish Flik forever. But Flik had an idea. "We could get bigger bugs to fight the grasshoppers," he shouted. "I'll go to the city and I'll get them." Surprisingly, Ada and the council accepted his offer, but only to get rid of him. When Flik arrived in the city, it didn't take long to find some bigger bugs. The bugs he found had just been fired from their circus manager, and all of them needed new jobs. Rosie the spider and her beetle steed, Dim, Slim the walking stick, and Heimlich the caterpillar, Tuck and Roll the pillbug acrobats, Francis the ladybug, Manny the mantis magician, and his moth assistant Gypsy. Flik started clapping. "I've been scouting for bugs with your talent," he told them. "Could you help my ant colony?" The circus bugs thought he was a talent scout and agreed. The bugs went with Flik to Ant Island. Although the colony was afraid of the circus bugs at first, they gave them a welcome banquet. The ant children performed a play about the coming battle with Hopper. "You mean that's us fighting?" Rosie whispered. "Don't watch," Slim warned Heimlich. Rosie tried to get Flik's attention, but he was too busy making a speech. "Flik!" Rosie hissed. "We're circus performers!" The circus bugs wanted to leave, hoping to find a new gig. "Don't go," Flik begged. "They'll call me a loser." Just then, a bird rose up from the grass behind Flik. Screaming, all the bugs scrambled to find a place to hide. The screams brought the ants to the cliffs, but not all the ants were safe. Dot had followed Flik, and now she was directly in the bird's path. Francis couldn't let Dot be hurt. He caught her, but they both tumbled into a crack in the riverbed. The bird knocked stones into the crack. One stone broke Francis's leg. Another knocked him out. Then the bird began pecking at the crack. Quickly, Flik thought of a plan. Slim held up the tasty-looking Heimlich to distract the bird while the other bugs flew to the rescue. "How brave!" one of the council members murmured. Then Flik and the circus bugs heard a strange sound. "What's that?" Heimlich wondered. It was applause. The whole ant colony was cheering wildly for the brave bugs who had just saved their precious little princess Dot. Later, Ada took Flik aside. "When you brought them here, I thought you hired a bunch of clowns," she said. "But they were so brave. Not every bug would have faced a bird. Even Hopper is afraid of birds." Flik felt an idea coming. Flik's plan was simple. Build a bird to scare off Hopper and his gang. He got Manny to present the plan to the council. Ada and the council loved it. The ants and circus bugs worked together. Little by little, the bird was shaped by leaves and twigs, spider's web, and a snail shell. Everyone felt upbeat. The grasshopper's next visit would be very different. Finally, ever so carefully, the ants and warrior bugs raised the bird into the tree, where it would await Hopper's arrival. A cheer went up. They were ready to rumble. Meanwhile, the grasshopper gang was hanging out south of the border. A couple of Hopper's thugs didn't want to return to Ant Island. They convinced Hopper's brother, Molt, to present their case to the leader. Hopper was furious. He buried the mutineers in a pile of grain. Then he snarled, "Those ants outnumber us. We can't let them figure out that. We got to remind them who's boss. Now let's ride." The grasshoppers took off for Ant Island. Back at Ant Island, an ant scout spotted someone approaching. But it wasn't the grasshoppers. It was the circus bug's old manager, P.T. Flea. He was looking for his circus bugs. Flik tried to keep the secret, but the ants realized that their brave warriors were circus bugs. No one trusted the circus bugs anymore. Hopper would be there soon, and they had no food. The queen told the circus bugs to leave. Ada told Flik to leave too. Dot wanted to follow them, but her mother held her back. All too soon, Hopper arrived. There was no food to give him or the grasshopper gang. Dot had to help. Away she went, looking for Flik and the circus bugs. She found them, feeling sorry for themselves. "You gotta help us," she gasped. "Hopper's gonna squish my mom." The circus bugs wanted to help. They tried to convince Flik that his bird idea would work, but he wouldn't agree. Dot knew that what Flik needed. She gave him an inspirational pep talk. Flik smiled. "All right," he cried. "We'll do it." They made it back just in time. At the signal from Gypsy, the fake bird sprang from the knothole. From inside the cockpit, the screams of Flik and the ant children were amplified into the terrifying screech of a bird. The grasshoppers were scared. They dived for cover. But then Hopper learned that he had been tricked. "You're losers," he raged. Inspired by Flik's bravery, the ants and circus bugs charged. Soon the grasshoppers were in retreat and Hopper stood alone. Hopper attacked Flik, but Ada came to the rescue, and she flew him to safety. They landed on the other side of the river when Flik lured Hopper toward the nest. The bird rose up with a screech. Hopper thought this was another one of Flik's tricks, but he was wrong. And that was the end of Hopper. Thanks to Flik, the ants had won. Soon it was spring when the queen retired. Princess Ada was now Queen Ada. Her sister Dot now wore the princess crown, and her special friend Flik held an honored place as the colony's official inventor. The circus bugs left to go on another tour. It was a happy ending. Never again would the ant colony have to worry about going hungry. Their courage had finally freed them from the greedy grasshopper gang. I am a beautiful butterfly. And that, my friends, is the end of our story. Here's that picture from the beginning. Also the same picture here, just in the smaller version. So now 2 pages. And the end of our story. Thank you for tuning in, and I hope you enjoyed A Bug's Life. Until next time, bye my friends.